Hey guys, the Super Review Show here for another My Thoughts on video. This is my thoughts on the news that came out yesterday, which I cannot believe this actually happened, but hey, it is what it is. Netflix raised their price from $15 a month. I believe it was $15 a month initially to $15.49 a month. And here's how it could affect you and me. First off, my initial impressions. This is not a surprise to me personally, and here's why. Because let's face it, with all the competition out there and the good quality of content that Netflix puts out, well, some good quality content in my opinion, but they put out enough content to keep people interested and wanting to pay every single month and recurring bills for their service. When I first heard that they were doing $15.49 a month, I was like, all right, look, you're officially now the only streaming service in the game that's charging that much. I understand that. This is your business. This is how you're going to make your money, but that's it. Disney Plus is still, I believe, at $8 a month or $7 a month. I forget. And look, Paramount Plus is $10 a month. HBO Max without no ads is $15. HBO Max was the most expensive at $15 a month. It's $14.99 rounded up, whatever. Anyways, this should come as no surprise, as I said, because let's face it, we as the consumer are eventually there's going to be nothing but streaming services at some point. Cable is reaching a realization, if you will, like, oh well, more and more people are switching over to streaming services and watching more content instead of watching what's on TV. Which is reality at this point for them. And they're like, oh, well, but we still have NBC. We still have the contract for the sports games, the Super Bowl, whatever. Those contracts are going to run out soon. Those contracts are going to eventually lapse. And I know I'm talking about like streaming service in general, but Netflix specifically raising their price should come as no surprise. And for the amount of content that they put out on any given basis, Stranger Things, Queen's Gambit, just to name a few. Even the stand-up comics that they promote on there, like with Jim Gaffigan or Sebastian, I forget, Jerry Seinfeld's another one. Like they do a ton of other things besides just regular like Netflix Studios type of stuff. This, I put a question up on our Twitter feed. Plug for our Twitter feed. Super Review Show at Twitter, whatever. Right? I put up a poll on our Twitter, which you can go vote on, and say if Netflix offers two different types of packaging, either A, you pay the $15.49 a month for no advertisements, which is more, or if they offer, let's say, $8 a month, $7.99 a month with advertisements. Because let's face it, I watch my newsfeed all the time when I get this kind of stuff, and I'm like, look, the people that brought this up were like, look, eventually Netflix might actually go ad driven at some point for different packages, because let's face it, Netflix is doing incredible. Netflix changed the game completely. Then Hulu came, and then Disney Plus, and then so on and so forth. Will Netflix go ad-based for a specific package? I think they might. Honest to God. I think there might be like, hey, we understand that we're raising our prices for one package only with no advertisements and no ads. We're not going to, but here's the thing. I personally think that they might, this is just my own opinion. This is why I call it my thoughts on. My thoughts on, they might do an ad-based like program or package separate because they want to generate money for themselves. Here's what I mean by that. Netflix lost a lot of money, I mean in the billions of dollars, because their content they're putting out is only based on how many people are subscribed to their content, which let's face it, everyone has $15 a month packages to Netflix. For a majority of people only have Netflix. And they're generating a lot of money with that. But when is that? But apparently, that's not enough for them or something like that. Because, to my understanding, the content they're putting out costs money in general. So the reason why I said that I think they might do an ad package for Netflix is because they need to make money as well, aside from just getting your $15 a month or $15.49, whatever. Just make it $15.50. Call it a day. Anyways, I think Netflix should make an ad package, because if Netflix makes an ad package, that would not only would you bring, I feel like you would bring more people in who are willing to watch your content without with advertisements, but you'd bring a whole new generation, a new wave of people in who are like, look, I was still for like years like skeptical to, not me personally, but like other people, like I'm pretending to be that person, like I'm skeptical to get Netflix because it's $15 a month, and if you do the math, that's a lot of money, and I'm not sure I can pay for it. But if Netflix finally offers an advertisement based package about, hey, you want to pay $10 a month and get advertisements on Netflix, and we'll rep the revenue of getting advertisements on our streaming service. If you told me 2 months ago that before this report came out that Netflix changing the price, and the whole conversation is spurred up online about this, if you were to tell me 2 months ago, if you were to ask me, hey, J-Man, 2 months ago, Netflix advertisements, what do you think? And I would say, hell no. Netflix is doing their thing. Netflix has got all the money in the world. They have tons of cash. And they don't need advertisements. Now, I'm changing my tune a little bit. If you'd ask me now, it's January of 2022. Hey, J-Man, advertisements on Netflix for a separate package. Based on them raising their price to $15.50 basically a month, it's a little ridiculous. But because they're now, like I said, they're now the most expensive streaming service out there. Kind of like sticking to like Disney and whatnot. Like, hey, look at us go. But at what point does it come the drawing line for the consumer? Me, you, whoever you might have watching us, listening to us, whatever. It's a very interesting question. And to be honest, Netflix has done a great job for a long time of putting out content that people might actually want to see. IP properties like books, individual IP properties like, the Queen's Gambit books, other properties that they want to develop into series. They did a good job with that. Atypical was one that I liked for a while. Stranger Things, Queen's Gambit, as I said, countless others. Some of the things they put out are absolutely horrible, but they don't care because they're making money. So, like when Netflix, I try to keep my show as kid friendly as I can, but like, or somewhat kid friendly. Basically, the whole sex stuff on Netflix, like the whole like certain shows that had very explicit stuff in them. Netflix is an adult audience show. Programming, in my opinion, it's like HBO Max, but with Netflix and whatnot. It's like their kind of content. But they can do whatever they want. I understand that, but at the same time, you really just went from like having a kid. They had to develop a kids section on Netflix and whatnot. So it begs the question for me: is like, do I want to keep paying for this? Unless, like I said, unless they say, look, we're shocking the world, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be making an ad-based package for $10 a month, which you're saving $5 a month from your package. Or maybe they'll do $9 or $8, who knows. And therefore, you're getting all of the same Netflix, but there's advertisements running instead, and we're making business off of it as well. I mean, anything's possible. I really, truly do not know what they will do as far as like their future goes. I have no insight. I have nothing to base this on. This is just my thoughts on video. But if you would ask me 2 days ago when this news came out, of like, hey, Netflix is raising their price, I would say, hell, make an advertisement package. It's getting expensive now. Who's to say that Netflix now goes from $15 a month to $25 a month? Now, is that coming at some point? Is that eventually going to be the cost of Netflix once cable goes? So it's a big debate right now with this price increase. I still think Netflix, if you're out there listening to me, shout out. Netflix, if you make an advertisement-based package, it's only $8 a month with advertisements, because I'm sure the genius at Netflix is like, look, we can make our content, and we can make it with advertisements running for a less package, but at the same time, they're also making money off the advertisements. Like they put like 3 advertisement breaks in the show, or 2, or however they want to do. So it's like a regular television subscription, but with Netflix. It's a very interesting premise. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about this. So please, if you're a Netflix fan, if you're understanding where I'm coming from with this, jump down to the comment section below, share your thoughts on this, and let me know, would you pay for an ad-based Netflix streaming service, or would you not? I'm very curious to see what the audience has to say about this. Because let's face it, it's $15.50 a month, and it's only going to go up. So it's a give and take. But I'm curious, would you pay for a $9 a month with advertisements Netflix? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. But for all of my thoughts on videos and Netflix and whatnot, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man is off to rock. And we'll see you guys later.